Most welcome, my dear students in the class 12th of English. I am Rashmi, lecturer AD Government Consider College, Gorakhpur. Today I am going to start the 6th lesson of prose. The name of the lesson is Women's Education by Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Dear students, it is said when you educate a man, you educate a person. But when you educate a woman, you educate entire nation. I hope you must have understood the importance of women's education. Before we start our study, let's have a quick look on the objectives of today. What are we going to learn today? First, to understand the value of women's education. Here we will try to analyze the importance of women's education. As just we have discussed, when we educate a woman, we educate a nation. So I hope you must have got the idea. When we read this text, we'll be able to understand it more deeply. Second, to develop the ability to ponder over the matter. Here, we will try to inculcate the ability to analyze the text. Third, to enhance the vocabulary treasure. As we read the text, we read the paragraph, we find certain difficult words, we'll try to find out the meaning of those difficult words. In this way, we will be able to understand the meaning of those difficult words and will be able to enhance the vocabulary treasure. To know the explanation, it is quite important. If we don't understand the explanation of the text, it's quite useless. Fifth, to read with correct pronunciation, stress, intonation, pause and articulation of voice. Dear students, it should be the sole purpose of our study that we should be able to know about the pronunciation of the words, the modulation of a speech, what should be the proper way to speak the sentences. All these things we will try to learn here. Now, there must be curiosity in your mind to know about the author. As you can see in this picture, you must be aware, you must be familiar to this picture. Yes, this is the picture of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan was the first vice president and the second president of India. He was an Indian philosopher, a great scholar and a teacher. Third, birth 5th September 1888, you must be aware of this date. Death 17 April 1975. Education Madras Christian College. Now, very important thing about him, he was awarded Bharat Ratna in the year 1954. You must know that Bharat Ratna is the most honorable award in our country. Major works: Indian philosophy, Hindu view of life, Eastern religions and Western thought, philosophy of the Upanishads. Radhakrishnan believed that teachers should be the best minds in the country because the noble responsibility to prepare children, to prepare the future of the country on the shoulders of a teacher. So they should be of the best mind. Since 1962, his birthday has been celebrated in India as Teachers' Day on 5th September every year. So that's why I told you that you must be aware of that date, 5th September, that we celebrate as Teachers' Day. Now, before we start analyzing every paragraph, let's have a quick look on the text, on the lesson at a glance. In this lesson, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan talks about women's education. As as it is clear from our topic that today we are going to analyze women's education, what should be the proper way of their education, what is the current status, what was the ancient status. So all these things will be analyzed under this topic. He says that women have to play a decisive role in the progress of their country with honest and disciplined mind. What kind of women are needed? We should have women of disciplined and restrained manner. So if we have these kind of women in our country, naturally our country will make progress, because when we educate a woman, we educate a nation. We should develop the qualities of considerateness. We should have the capability to think over things. Kindness, we should be merciful, and compassion. We should have a kind heart. We should have a deep feeling of mercy. The essence of good life is dam, dan and daya, which means self-control, charity and kindness. So these are the three important valuable things that these are the three important qualities that we should have in ourselves in order to have a good life. So dam refers to self-control, dan refers to charity and daya to kindness. In ancient India, women had the ceremony of Upnayan for them. This is a matter of pride that in ancient times women had the right to have the Upnayan ceremony. They had the right to study of the Vedas, to the chanting of Gayatri Mantra. But afterwards women were neglected. After independence, Mahatma Gandhi called for a movement for the upliftment of Indian women. So in ancient times we had a rich position for the women, and gradually what happened, their position was neglected. But after independence, through the exertions of Mahatma Gandhi, he worked a lot for the upliftment of women. So this was the lesson at a glance. Now we will move towards the paragraph 1 and 2. Here we will look at the major points of paragraph 1 and 2, and in this way we will try to understand the meaning of the text. It starts with, you are living in an age when there are great opportunities for women in social work, public life and administration. Here Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan says that we are living in a society where women have immense opportunities, immense time to expose themselves. They can work in society, they can work in public life, they can work in administration too. Second, society requires women of disciplined and restrained manners. But all kind of women are not able to perform well for the society. We need women of disciplined mind. They should be ordered, they should be disciplined, and restrained manners. Restrained means controlled manners. They should have self-control. Third, but I am anxious that the kind of education that is imparted means given, must not only be broad but should also be deep. The education which we are providing, it should not be only broad. We have wings after wings in our education. We have different streams in our education. But if the sole purpose of education is not solved, it is all in vain. So it must be deep too. Fourth, we may become learned and skilled, but if we don't have some kind of purpose in our life, our lives themselves become blind, blundering and bitter. If we don't have purpose in our life, proper purpose in our life, valid purpose in our life, we are much skilled, which we are much learned, but if we don't have some purpose for the society, all these things become blind, blundering and bitter. Then we are totally misguided. We are having a very dark life that has no purpose. पैराग्राफ 1 और 2 में सर्वपल्ली राधाकृष्णन जी ने इन 3-4 पॉइंट्स में जो बताया है, उसमें ये कहा कि हम एक ऐसे समय में रह रहे हैं जहां औरतों के पास, महिलाओं के पास सामाजिक कार्य में, सार्वजनिक क्षेत्र में और प्रशासन के क्षेत्र में काम करने की अपरंपार अवसर है। दूसरी बात उन्होंने कही कि हमें सोसाइटी में ऐसे महिलाओं की आवश्यकता है जो पूर्णतया अनुशासित हों और जिनका मैनर, जिनका आचरण जो है वो बहुत ही संयमित हो। तीसरी बात है कि हमें जो एजुकेशन दी जानी चाहिए वो केवल व्यापक ही नहीं होनी चाहिए, बल्कि उसमें गहराई भी होनी चाहिए। और चौथी बात जो उन्होंने कही, उन्होंने कहा कि हम बहुत अच्छे, हम बहुत कुशल हो सकते हैं, हमें बहुत विद्वान हो सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर हमारे जीवन में कोई उद्देश्य नहीं है तो हमारा जीवन क्या है? अंधकारपूर्ण है, हमारा जीवन एक गलत रास्ते पे है और कड़वाहट से भरा हुआ है। द गीता सेज व्यवसायित्मिका बुधिर एका। Here it means that we should have a definite purpose in our life. For the uncultured mind, the whole life is scattered in many directions. Bahusakha hayantayash. It means that if we don't have single-mindedness, if we don't have definite purpose in our life, then our life is scattered. It is totally useless, and it is the symbol of uncultured mind. It is said that Vidya gives you Vivek and Vimars Rupini Vidya gives you a sense of what is right and help you to avoid what is wrong. If we find the true education, if we find the noble education, then it will always lead you to a better path. It will always give you a sense to decide, to differentiate what is right and what is wrong. A purpose which held good centuries ago may not hold good today in view of the rapidly changing conditions of our country and of the world. This is very true, that if we have decided a purpose, it may be good for the current situation, but it is not necessary that the purpose which was very useful in the previous time, that will be useful for today too. So whatever purpose we decide, it should be adaptable to the current changing situation. गीता में ये कहा गया व्यवसायित्मिका बुधिर एका, हमारे जीवन में एक निश्चित उद्देश्य होना चाहिए, क्योंकि जो असंस्कृत होते हैं, जो सुसभ्य नहीं हैं, ऐसे दिमाग वाले लोगों का पूरा जीवन क्या है? बिखराव से भरा होता है, स्कैटर्ड होता है, बिखराव से भरा होता है। ये कहा जाता है कि विद्या आपको विवेक देती है, लेकिन जब आपके पास विमर्श रूपिणी विद्या होती है, जब आप अपने लॉजिक का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, जब आप अपने तर्क शक्ति का प्रयोग करते हैं, तो वो आपको ये समझाने में सक्षम होती है कि क्या सही है और क्या गलत। एक उद्देश्य जो सदियों पहले सही हो, वो आवश्यक नहीं कि आज के परिप्रेक्ष्य में भी, आज की बदलती हुई परिप्रेक्ष्य में भी उतना ही सही हो। Now we will move towards the paragraph 3rd. Every time we start, we use our hymns and end with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The teacher and pupils are expected to avoid hating each other. There should be a proper coordination between a teacher and a student. There should be a calm atmosphere where they are working. So this Shanti, Shanti, Shanti refers to the calm atmosphere, the peaceful atmosphere, the peaceful bonding between a teacher and a student. Compassion, daya, is the quality which is more characteristic of women than of men. Compassion, the quality of mercy, is quite synonymous to the women. We expect that women have more the quality of mercy than that of a man. If you don't have compassion, you are not human. This is also very important, that if we don't have the quality of mercy, then we are not a human being in a true sense. It is therefore essential for every human being to develop the quality of consideration, kindness and compassion. These three qualities are quite important, dear children, that we should have consideration, we should have the capability to think over something, and we should be merciful, we should have deep feeling of mercy. Without these qualities, we are only human animals, nar pashu, not more than that. If we don't have these three qualities, we are just like animals. So we have to be far away from these tendencies which lead to us towards the nar pashu, that we get animal. Now we have in paragraph third में हम लोगों ने देखा कि जब हम किसी मंत्र को अंत करते हैं, अपने पाठ का अंत करते हैं, तो उसमें शांति ही शांति ही शांति ही बोलते हैं, और ये उम्मीद की जाती है कि एक टीचर और एक जो शिष्य है, जो शिक्षक है और जो शिष्य है, उसके बीच में घृणा का माहौल ना हो, वो आपस में एक दूसरे से घृणा न करें बल्कि प्रेम का संबंध हो। दया एक ऐसी क्वालिटी है, दया एक ऐसा गुण है जो कि महिलाओं में ज़्यादा अपेक्षित माना जाता है, पर्याय माना जाता है। अगर हमारे अंदर दया का गुण नहीं है तो हम ह्यूमन नहीं हैं, तो हम मानव नहीं हैं। इसलिए हर मानव के लिए ज़रूरी है कि वो अपने अंदर इन तीन चीज़ों का विकास करे। पहला तो कॉन्सिडरेशन, विचार करने की शक्ति हो, दयालुता हो और करुणा हो। कंपैशन मीन्स करुणा हो, क्योंकि इन तीनों क्वालिटीज़, इन तीनों गुणों के अभाव में हम केवल एक नर पशु हैं, हमारे अंदर पशुता होती है और हमारे अंदर मानवीयता नहीं होती। Now we will move towards paragraph 4 and 5. There is a famous verse which tells us samsara vishvrikshasya. This world is like a poisonous tree. Why? It will be elaborated further. In this imperfect world, sansara, there are two fruits of inimitable quality. So in this imperfect world, the world which is not correct, samsara, there are two fruits of inimitable quality. Inimitable means unique. So we have two unique qualities. The first, the study of our great classics, and the second, communion with great minds. So we should try to focus ourselves towards the study of classics and to study the great minds. It is in a small dialogue in an Upanishad that a question is put: what constitutes the essence of good life? How can we have a good life? So further we will get the answer. Immediately the teacher explained that these were the essence of good life: dam, dan and daya. If we have dam, means self-control. If we have dan, means charity. If we have daya, means mercy or compassion. Then we are having a good life. There are ever so many thrilling stories in our classics which will instill into us great moral strength, which will lay down for us the lines on which we have to conduct ourselves. So we can find out immense examples in our classics that will lead to a better life, a perfect life. फर्स्ट पॉइंट में लेखक ने कहा है कि ये संसार जो है विश्व वृक्ष की तरह से है। क्यों है? क्योंकि ये जो अशुद्ध संसार है, जो पूरी तरह से ठीक नहीं है, उचित नहीं है, उस संसार में दो चीजें हमारे पास, दो अनुपम फल हैं। वो कौन से? पहला कि हम अपने महान शास्त्रों का अध्ययन करें और जो महान लोग हुए हैं उनके दिमाग को पढ़ना शुरू करें। तीसरी बात उन्होंने बताई कि एक छोटे से डायलॉग में, उपनिषद के एक छोटे से संवाद में ये कहा गया कि कौन सी ऐसी चीजें हैं जिससे हम अपने जीवन को अच्छा बना सकते हैं। अच्छे जीवन के सार के लिए कौन कौन सी चीजें आवश्यक हैं। तुरंत ही एक टीचर ने जवाब दिया, एक्सप्लेन्ड, दम, दान और दया। अगर हमारे अंदर आत्मनियंत्रण है, दान है, दान करने की प्रवृत्ति है, दया है, करुणा का भाव है, तो हम एक अच्छा जीवन निश्चित रूप से जी सकते हैं। पांचवी बात जो उन्होंने कही कि हमारे शास्त्रों में ऐसी बहुत सारी रोमांचक कहानियां हैं जिनको अगर हम अपना आधार बनाएं तो वो चीज़ें हमारे अंदर इतने अच्छे नैतिक विचारों को, नैतिक शक्तियों को डालती हैं कि हम एक बहुत ही अच्छा, बहुत ही सुंदर जीवन जी सकते हैं, अपना आचरण अच्छा बना सकते हैं। नाउ वी हैव पैराग्राफ 6. These are still accepted the world over as the objects of education. That in the world we have two objects. First, knowledge of the world. We should have the knowledge of the world. We should have the knowledge of our surrounding where we are living. And technical skill by which you can earn a livelihood. Then, to earn something is quite important. For that, we have technical skill. Second, we have heard that the chief purpose of education is not merely the acquiring of a skill of information, but the initiation into a higher life. Our object of education should not only be confined to the getting of knowledge, being learned and skilled, and we should have some purpose that will transcend us from here to the other world, to the higher life. That higher life is the spiritual life, a noble life. The world of space and time, though the latter informs and animates the former. So we should have the knowledge of theory and then we have the knowledge of practical, and all these things lead us towards the better life, the noble life. पैराग्राफ 6 पे जो फर्स्ट पॉइंट में इन्होंने कहा कि हमारे यहाँ संसार में दो चीज़ें जो स्वीकार की गई हैं शिक्षा के उद्देश्य के रूप में, वो पहला है कि हम उस संसार का ज्ञान लें जिसमें कि हम रह रहे हैं, और दूसरा हमारे अंदर तकनीकी दक्षता हो ताकि हम कुछ आजीविका अर्जित कर सकें। दूसरी बात उन्होंने कही कि जो शिक्षा का मुख्य उद्देश्य है वो केवल विद्वान बनना या दक्षता हासिल करना नहीं है, बल्कि अपने जीवन के स्तर को कुछ ऊंचा उठाना है, एक उच्चतर लक्ष्य के साथ हमको चलना है, आध्यात्मिकता के स्तर पे हमको पहुंचना है। In ancient times, our women had the ceremony of Upanayana performed for them. They were entitled to a study of Vedas. They were also entitled to the chanting of Gayatri Jap. In ancient times, women had great rights. They were having the rights of performing Upanayana and chanting of Gayatri Mantra, and they have the capability, they were entitled to the study of Vedas. So they were quite rich, they had a rich position in our society. But our civilization became arrested, and one of the main signs of that decay of our civilization is the subjection of women, the control over women, the domination of women. So we tried to make them slave, the slavery of women. So in this way, we gradually we found that there was a declination in our civilization. And why it happened? Due to the subjection of women. We neglected the women folk. Fifth, after independence, through the exertions of Mahatma Gandhi, a revolution has been effected in our country and women are coming into their own. After independence, Mahatma Gandhi worked a lot. He worked hard. He came forward for the upliftment of women. थर्ड पॉइंट पे लेखक ने कहा कि हमारे जो महिलाओं की प्राचीन समय में स्थिति थी वह काफ़ी अच्छी थी और उन्हें उपनयन संस्कार कराने का, उसके बाद वेद को पढ़ने का, गायत्री मंत्र का जाप करने का भी अधिकार था। लेकिन उसके बाद हमारी सभ्यता का क्षरण हुआ। क्यों हुआ? क्योंकि हमने औरतों को दबाना शुरू किया, उनकी उपेक्षा करनी शुरू की, उनके ऊपर अपना आधिपत्य जमाना शुरू किया और एक पुरुष प्रधान समाज की स्थापना करने की ओर हम अग्रसर हुए। स्वतंत्रता के पश्चात महात्मा गांधी जी के अथक प्रयासों से एक बार फिर महिलाओं को वापस उनकी स्थिति में लाने का प्रयास किया गया और अब जो है वो फिर अपनी पुरानी विरासत को और अपनी पोजीशन को फिर से स्थापित करने में सक्षम रही हैं। Now we have questions for evaluation. Dear students, in this way we have completed our text. We came to know certain things. Now here you have to check yourself that what did you learn. First question, what kind of women does the society need? We have seen it in a paragraph 1 that society needs women of disciplined mind and restrained manners. Second question, which particular quality distinguishes men from women? We have also read this, that the quality of compassion, this distinguishes men from women. Third, what constitutes the essence of good life? Dam, Dan and Daya. You have to keep in your mind these three keywords, Dam, Dan and Daya. If you have self-control, if you have the ability of charity, if you have the quality of mercy, compassion, then it constitutes the essence of good life. You are having a good life. What were the things women entitled to do in ancient times? Just we have read this, that women had the right to perform Upanayan Sanskar. Second, they were entitled to the study of Vedas. Third, they were entitled to enchanting of Gayatri Jap. So, these are the three things. Now, we have the question, what is one of the signs of the decline of our civilization? Subjection of women. This is one of the signs of declination of civilization. So, in this way, there was the question of evaluation. Now, it's time for homework, dear students. First, explain with reference to the following passage. In ancient time, to the subjection of women. It is the last paragraph and it's quite important. You have to write the reference, then context, then explanation. In reference, you have to mention the name of the writer and the name of the lesson. Context, you have to mention the core theme of the particular paragraph. Then you have to explain it in your own words. You can add comments about language, about theme, whatever you find important, you can mention it in your own words. Now, second, write a note on the current situation of women folk in our country in your own words. For it, you have to analyze the entire text, you have to read it deeply, then you can answer the question. Third, fill in the blanks with the words given below. You have 4 words that has to be filled according to the need. There are 4 questions. For it, it is also very essential to have a proper deep study of the text. So in this way you can solve the questions. Now we have reached the last segment of our study, and that is the message. Dear students, when we read any text and if we don't analyze the message that the text is trying to convey to you, it is all useless. So what have we learned through this text? What was the purpose of this text? That has to be analyzed. The first thing is that women have vital role to play for the all-round development of a nation. In the entire chapter, the importance of women's education has been focused. The reason is they constitute 50% of the population. And in the very beginning of the study, I mentioned you line that if we educate a woman, we educate a nation. So you can easily understand the importance of women's education. So we should come forward for the upliftment of women's situation, and in this way we can uplift our society and nation. Second, we should have a definite purpose in our life. When we are studying, we should have a definite purpose in our study, and if we don't have any purpose, then it is all useless. Third, study of classics should be given importance. We should never forget our great classics, because we can learn a lot of things through the classics. They are a kind of valuable treasure for us, and we should understand the value of those treasure in form of classics, so they should be given importance. Fourth, we should try to inculcate in ourselves the quality of compassion. If we don't have the quality of compassion, dear students, then we are not human being. In this way, we have completed our text. I hope you must have enjoyed this topic. You must have tried to think deeply on this topic, because it is quite important from the point of view that you can do a lot of things by getting this topic, and you can play a very important role for the upliftment of nation. In this way, you will be able to understand the importance of women's education. They should be given a proper place in the society. We should not try to neglect the women folk, because they are having a very important place in our society, and Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan focuses on that. So in this way we have completed this text, and I am giving it to you to analyze more and more on this topic, to get more and more. The more you learn, the more you read, the more you get. So in this way, read it again and again, you will get a lot of things. I hope you will be able to understand it, and till then, have a great time, keep on learning, be safe. Thank you very much.